when Swarm was first announced, first of
Hmm.
all, I've been following the news of Swarm when it was called Hive. Like
Oh.
back a long time ago, Donald Glover had
Yeah.
announced that he is creating an Amazon Prime show with Malia Obama as a writer because
Hmm.
she wanted to learn about film and television. She worked in the show Girls, so she's wanted to be in the film industry for a while. So her getting
Right.
the chance to be on this show with Donald Glover is like I feel like perfect for her. And
Yeah.
then Chloe Bailey was signed on the project as well. So from the time that the title was like announced as Hive, people kind of like picked up like this is like a show in like influenced by like Beyonce and like her fans and stuff
Hmm.
like that. And then the show is called Swarm. Dominique Fishback was added on as like the lead in the show, and it was released, and
Hmm.
there were like initial reactions where people were kind of like, "How does Beyonce feel about this?" But just like also hinting at like what the show talks about with like the fandom and the culture and how people like idolize like these pop stars and stuff like that. And
Hmm.
because Donald Glover has collaborated with Beyonce before, like on um, Black is King and
Mm.
also on the Lion King movie,
Yeah, the
um,
Lion King. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Because they've
yeah.
collaborated with each other before, in my mind, I was kind of like, there's no way this show was made without like some kind of approval or some kind of like go ahead.
Hmm.
Because Chloe
Hmm.
Bailey is literally Beyonce's protege. So
Yeah,
she wouldn't have
yeah.
said yes to the project if,
Hmm.
she did not approve. And there was an article that I read where Janine Nabers literally was like, Janine Nabers confirmed that Beyonce has seen the show, but there hasn't been
Hmm.
any confirmations of her thoughts on the show.
Mm.
So
Okay.
from the jump, I was like, okay, so this is a go. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
the show came out, and I feel like a lot of people had like very positive reactions to the show, and they had like a
Hmm.
lot of positive things to say. And I was kind of like hesitant to watch it just because like I feel like when it comes to you know shows about social media or like young people can sometimes not be handled with like a very delicate hand, and a lot of times people are
Right,
very quick to just kind of do this whole thing of like, oh my gosh, these kids in their phones, they're on the
right, right.
TikTok, they're
You be
doing the
cringe.
dances, like what's
They're
going on? And like Donald
doing the
Glover,
floss dance.
yeah, Donald Glover like is he knows how the internet works. Like
Yeah.
he has been on the internet his entire career. There was a
Hmm.
whole campaign for Donald Glover to be the next Spider-Man, which he
Yep.
like also kind of was like, yeah, absolutely, which is what got him in the Spider-Man movie, like the first one with Tom Holland, and also why he played, gosh, what is it? Miles
Prowler, Miles
Prowler
Morales.
and Miles
Yeah, his
Morales
uncle. Yeah,
across the Spider
Cross the
Verse.
Spider Verse. Yeah,
Yes, his little
he sparked
cameo.
his whole him wearing the suit was sparked Miles Morales.
Yeah.
So yeah, he knows how to work the internet. I mean, he got
Yes.
an album called because of the
Because the
internet, and it's
internet.
fire.
Yes. Exactly.
It's fire.
So I didn't have any reservations to the show being good. So when I first started watching the show, I was very intrigued by like the premise of the
Hmm.
show. Like first and foremost, did not expect that scene with
The first opening, the opening scene,
with
like
Desmond Idris. And I was like, wait a minute, what? This is not.
that is how you catch people's attention from the
Yeah,
jump. Like you put Chloe Bailey, one of the like I would say Black America's sweetheart,
yeah,
taking back shots. It's crazy. By damn Aegis, who's already was already in the running for like the most popular black actor, male
mm,
actor because of Snowfall.
yeah,
So he's already big and everything. So you got him and Chloe, and you sparking relationship rumors and everything. Like
yeah, yeah. So
it
he
was
definitely
crazy.
knows how to like play up what
Hmm.
people like to talk about, what people like to see. So
Hmm.
I feel like from the first episode, I was definitely like surprised by what I saw, and I think that the one thing that took me back was, now this is something I don't want to admit, but like how much I related to Dre, because I feel like
Hmm.
what Donald hit on the head for like a lot of fans is that there is an interesting subsect of certain fans that they don't really have like strong social cues. They don't really have any like strong relationships or ties to maybe like their family or other people, and them having like one close person in their life is like very real. So
Yeah.
for them to have like this strange like relationship where like someone who's very popular, very talented, very well known, in a way where they look at them in like a sense of a deity, is
Yeah.
because any other relationship they have with someone is not strong enough to pull their attention towards a real person, and they have to anchor their identity and to anchor their like soul, like purpose and like obsession and love towards someone that is unattainable, someone who they have not met, someone they do not know, but only has a sense of who this person is through the persona
Right.
that they have projected out into the world. So I feel like
Right.
that was one thing that Donald Glover definitely hit on the head. And it does make like this obsessed super fan look more real,
Mm.
like just seeing like who she is and seeing like just how awkward she is with other
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. This the awkwardness was really done well by Dominique Fishback. I mean, she was amazing the entire series, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Um, but her just being like the church mouse and just being closed into herself. And I also want to say that Chloe Bailey did a good job as being like the best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And in my mind, I was thinking about this earlier. In my mind, another reason why she was so closed in on Nigel, because how you said it was like she was having hard problems uh with the social cues and not being able to attach to family members and everything, where she didn't have. She doesn't have a family. Chloe's family was her only family. Since they shared that together, she also put those. She kind of combined Nigel and I forgot what Chloe's character name is, but combined them together,
Mm-hmm.
and that was her world. Like that was something they shared, and then I think another reason why they actually showed the sex scene is because it's like, okay, she wants to experience, like that's her best friend, that's her sister doing that. It can either go one or two ways. This guy's gonna take her away from me, or we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna go together. So
I have to say,
her sitting there watching that was one thing too.
yeah, I think her watching it is like interesting because it's clear that she has not experienced that before, and it's
Mm-hmm.
possible that like the only other introduction she's ever had to sex is like through movies and like possibly through porn. So seeing it in real life
Mm-hmm.
was something that we're like she's almost studying it because it's so foreign to her. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and Marissa, who is Chloe's character, had said before that like Dre always seems to have a problem with any guy she brings around, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's just because the guys that Marissa probably dates are probably like hood guys, and they don't know
Mm-hmm.
like how to be around like quiet girls or like girls that are awkward, you know what I mean? Like when
Mm-hmm.
the guy she was dating, I forget the character name, but when he was like, I got some boys that I can hook you up with, I immediately was like,
Yeah.
no, ah, ah, it's too much.
Abort.
Ah,
Abort.
nope, nope. And then I'm sitting here like, Marissa, I know you're upset because Dre maybe is like awkward and clingy, and like because you hang out with her, you can't hang out with other people. But like, if your boyfriend is trying to hook your friend up with just like a random guy, girl, that's weird. Like, why? She doesn't want that.
It's always like that. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's always like that. Some dudes be like, "I'm gonna bring my guy over. We can do two bands and stuff like that." And it's that's part of the culture that a lot of black people have adopted. Whereas,
Mm-hmm.
if you meet a girl, the first thing the dude want to do for some reason, hey man, you got somebody for my friend, or whatever the case may be.
Uh-uh.
It happens. That's how, especially teenage
Sir.
like. That's how it always goes. I don't know why. It's more of like a brotherhood thing, I guess. It's like if I'm got a girl, I'm gonna make sure my man's got a girl. That's the mindset. I almost missed out on my wife for that shit. My first time meeting my wife, my cousin was like, "Hey man, you see what she got a friend." I was like, I ain't want to do that, but
Mm-hmm.
all right. I texted, and she was like, it took a while for her to text back. And she was like, "No, I'm by myself." I was like, "All right, cool. She ain't got nobody for you, cuz."
You on your own. Sorry.
You and your own. So that's what happens. That's what
Yeah.
happens. I don't know.
And I have seen like online people theorizing that like Dre is possibly like was interested in Marissa. I don't think she was interested in her in that way. I think it was a way where she like admires Marissa because that's her
Yeah.
foster sister, you know.
Yeah.
And it's in the same way that she admires Naija, where
Mm-hmm.
these women are smart and capable and amazing, and she wants to be close to them. So of course,
Mm-hmm.
like she wants to do whatever she can to like be near them. But
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of people were confusing that with like romantic interests because
Yeah.
later on we find out that Dre is interested in women, but I don't think that was the case with her Marissa. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like when I was saying like they share that bond together, it was more like she was seeing Nigel and Rissa as the same person type thing.
mm-hmm.
Like these are the woman that she's obsessed with.
Yeah, and you could tell like from the very first episode that like she does love Naija and she is
Mm-hmm.
like obsessed with her in a way, but it's clear that like when she was I was watching the show the first episode and I was like something about the way she likes Naija is not in a way where it's like it's hers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a way that people like certain things and they like it because like, oh, this interests me. I think this is cool. Like me, like
Mm-hmm.
I like anime, but like I only like anime really because my brother likes anime. So I watch
Right.
different shows so I could talk to it about with him. But
Right.
I also love reading, and I also love like
Right.
chocolate ice cream. And everyone in my family hates chocolate ice cream, but that's something that
Mm-hmm.
I like. It's my own thing.
Right. Right.
And with Naija, it seemed like something that she liked to find acceptance and to find a community. And she got these tickets because she wanted to share them with Marissa. So I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's something that they have in common. But
Right.
when Marissa didn't want to like go to the Naija concert, she wanted to go to Atlanta with her boyfriend. In my head, I was like, well, that makes sense. Like that's her boyfriend. She
Mm-hmm.
likes him. Like going to Atlanta, like it's a thing. Like I want to go to Atlanta. I want to go Washington D.C. I want to go to Chicago. I want to go to Miami. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
like people go on these trips. They want to do that, and
Right.
that's probably like in her head. Like in my head, I'd be like, oh, that's fine. We'll just go to the next Naija concert because
Right.
there'll
But
be
that
another
destroyed.
one.
Yeah, that destroyed.
And at that point, it was like, wow, that was like the first thing, the first domino. And I did see online because I remember when this happened. This is one thing that also takes me out about the show because I've watched a lot of videos where people are like, did you see the Easter eggs of the show? And I was like, yes, I was there when they happened. I was there. I remember
Awesome.
episode 1 brings up how Naija reveals that Cash, who is supposed to be like the someone like Jay-Z,
Okay.
cheated
Yeah.
on her, and then she drops
Yeah.
this album, and
Yeah.
Marissa calls Dre like all night, but Dre is with the Culkin brothers, so she didn't pick up her
Yeah.
phone. And
Yeah.
Dre sees that like Marissa called her, and I was like, oh my gosh, Naija got cheated on, and now like you're saying that like my boyfriend cheated on me, like oh my gosh, like she felt like connected that way, but like it was so devastating
Yeah.
to her because like if someone like Naija can get cheated on, what hope is there for me?
Right.
And
Right.
so she takes her home life, and then Dre goes home and she sees her, and obviously shattered by it. And this
Right.
is something that is reflective of something that happened in real life, but it didn't actually happen in real life. There was a rumor that a fan took her own life after she listened to Lemonade and found out that JC cheated on Beyonce. It was
Mm.
circulated online, but it's not real. I want
It's
to
not
let y'all
real.
know it's not. The show is a parody, not real
Mhm.
life. You know,
Please don't take your life.
please
Please,
don't
please don't
don't
take your
do
life
it. But
at
yeah,
all.
after I saw that and I saw like the parallels in the show, I was like, okay. I in my head I'm thinking like, damn, there's a lot of that y'all could pull from, but like, let's go.
Right. Right. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. That first episode and that happened, and the that one did confuse me because I didn't know the context of it. I
Yeah.
had to get explained that. So I was like, what? And I'm like, yeah, it didn't happen, but I guess they took it to the next level on this one where they actually shows, what happening. And I was like, oh, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But then little did I know it get crazier.
Yeah. When she goes to see, I'm not gonna lie, when Dre goes to see Marissa's boyfriend, of course
Mm,
in my head I'm like, she's
they about
either
to do it.
going Yeah, in my head, I'm like, they're either gonna do it or she's gonna kill him. And in the back
Yeah,
of my mind, I was like, well, she is a murderer in the show. Like, it's kind of like in that sense. So in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, so she's gonna kill him because like we already
yeah,
seen like one dead body. What's another one? You know what I mean? Because she's so
mhm,
attached to Marissa, and she
yeah,
went to the funeral. She wanted to be there, and then the family told her not to be there. In the
yeah.
back of my mind, I'm like, why is that? Like, that's a little strange. But like,
That one did caught me off guard.
yeah. So
Hmm.
when she went to go see Marissa's ex and killed him, I was like, okay, this is
Yeah,
where it
which was a
starts.
good kill actually. Like the way it was filmed was very well done. Like I like the fact that she was in the back room and they saw her walking up to her, hit him, and
Mm-hmm.
then wails on him and everything. With no type of music, you just hear the grunts and the smashing of using the crystal. I like that because we didn't need the big shocking music to tell us that it's a crazy scene. Like we're seeing it, we're witnessing it. So very well done when it comes to the cinematography.
I feel like after that episode, I was kind of like, okay, so what's next?